Last time on the Titans of Altera.
Yes, it's true. We are the Bringers of Shade. There are 4 of us. One of us commands a giant goat golem.
I'm a bringer of shade.
You're a bringer of shade.
Yeah.
Fine. Face me.
Bet.
1-on-1.
1-on-1.
All of us have had visions of places where we believe the other forms of power to be.
Relnor.
Yeah?
Getting these weird headaches recently. I feel like my head's saying to go south.
But right now, standing in our way is Oren Fellhammer and his army.
This is part of the Erden prophecies.
It
from
is.
what I've understood from Dyer.
I would really like the time to fill you in on all this. But first, what do you know of Orong Fellhammer?
We need all the Erden to unite to fight him and protect the world bridge, protect our homes, so that we can continue on finding the forms of power.
Relnor, I'll be right back. I gotta chase a bird.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Titans of Altera, a 5th edition actual play for gamers of all ages. I'm your host and Dungeon Master Joshua. Going around the table, we have
Joan.
Dalfin.
Winnie!
Relnor.
I forgot to ask you a question. Is my goat golem level 2 yet?
It is level 2.
Okay.
Wait, use levels for the golem?
Okay. Gang's all here, and we're going to jump right into it. By jump right into it, I mean we're going to jump into all 4 of them.
At the same time?
No.
Everybody
Yeah.
talk at once. Ready? 1, 2...
No one did
That was a perfect impression of
You were
us.
completely indiscernible. I love
Kelsey,
it.
my favorite Kelsey things are, okay, everybody do this. 1, 2, 3, then nobody does it but her.
It's like Ninja trying to get everyone to do the floss dance.
She just moved so fast we couldn't track.
I'm not saying any movement.
All right, well, we're going to follow the same pattern, and we're going to jump to
Me.
Winnie. Winnie, you've been in conference with Lord Aaron, eating some really nice food in their kitchen.
Butter cookies with apricot and
Ooh,
raspberry.
There you go.
Wow, it's like she's drawing from real life.
And he's basically told you a little bit about kind of his background and their connection to the orcs, and how a lot of his people, specifically a lot of his military, have very strong, even some familial connections to Orung's army. So there's...
Tense.
So we'll go ahead and jump into the conversation at this point. And
Okay.
He says, you'll understand why I hesitate at the thought of my people going to war against the orcs.
I do.
I wish it were a much simpler decision we could make. And it pains me, he looks at Dyer, he said, to know that my friend and his family are going to war with Orung. And that Orung wishes to bring his forces south.
North.
It wishes to bring his forces north.
Sorry, Lord Aaron. Forgive me.
But I'm uncertain what the Iron City can bring to such a war.
Would Orong pass by the Iron City?
Most likely he'll attack in force more central to where the Erden are camped and spread his forces out as he moves north. We will likely not be attacked. Our city is incredibly fortified. Like I said, we have familial connections within the orc tribes. Some of my men are brothers and sons of warriors in Orung's army. They wouldn't dream of attacking our city.
But where does their allegiance lie? To you or to Orong?
I'm sure it's to Orung, but they have no hostility towards us. The Iron City has stood alone for 100 years.
My understanding was that Orong intends to conquer all. Though he might not attack, I'm sure he will expect subservience.
Orung will encounter what any force going north encounters. He may wreak havoc upon the Erden of the south and the border patrols beyond the river. But there's no way he would ever touch the 4 kingdoms. They're far too powerful. Ourselves are benefactors of their success and strength. I wish, believe me, I wish there was more I could do.
Believe me, Lord Aaron, I do not wish for war. Is there any way we can prevent this conflict? The loss of life, it already weighs pretty heavily on all of us.
I have only ever spoken with Orang once, and he's a very intelligent being.
Can he be reasoned with?
Well, I'm sure he can.
Or can he be deterred?
I think his reasons are far more rooted than one that can be swayed.
Understandable.
Loss of life is not a concern of his. And even if they fail at taking the Four Kingdoms, he believes that their journey north is symbolic. They have a purpose for their attack. It's to show that the orcs will not remain in the south uncontested and silenced to the periphery of the world.
Would he understand the threat of the end of the world?
Perhaps.
What good is it to show your strength if your strength isn't going to exist soon?
I don't disagree.
I don't get fighty people.
I appreciate that we live in a world where one such as yourself can grow to have that opinion.
Me too, I think.
Unfortunately,
I'd like a world where I didn't have to have that opinion.
I like to think my city is a place where such feelings can exist, but outside it I have very little power. In the north I am viewed as less because of my orc and even sometimes my human heritage. And in the south I am viewed as soft.
Well, then they'd all be wrong then, wouldn't they?
I suspect many are wrong of you as well.
Maybe.
He looks at Dyer and River Mist and then back at you, and he says, "Here's what I will do. The Iron City will supply the Erden. We have many weapons and armor that could perhaps give them an upper hand when it comes to their equipment. I don't believe I can send forces south to meet them at the World Bridge."
If some of your people wished to fight, though they were not sent, what would you say? Should I roll?
Are you rolling a persuasion? Mm-hmm. Go for it. I hadn't even thought of that. That's great.
Bad. 8.
8. If my people wished to journey south and participate in the war on either side, I would not stop them.
Yeah.
You must understand, while I care for the peoples of Altera, I am responsible for the people of the Iron City.
We are eternally grateful for your material support, sir.
Very well.
Maybe not eternally. Eternity is shortening every minute. He laughs.
He's just the idea of the world ending is just a little. It's just so far removed from anything he can comprehend that he doesn't even know how to address it seriously. I will have several of my men gather supplies, and we'll have several packs and carts head out towards the World Bridge, where I'm assuming the Erden are gathering. And I will send some guards to make sure that the supplies arrive at their destination, but they will have strict orders to return once they can confirm that you have all arrived safely.
Thank you. What is Penny doing right now?
Penny's actually floated over by the window.
She's like looking out.
And looking out kind of further south.
Can Winnie speak up? She's going to go, Lord Aaron, would you excuse me for a moment?
Of course, you're free to roam the city if you wish.
Before he can finish talking, she's already like halfway across the room to Penny.
And he just kind of nods his head and smirks, and then he turns back to Dyer, and they kind of clasp hands again, and you see them kind of speaking in Erden.
Yeah.
So what are you doing?
Hey, Penny.
Oh. Hi, Winnie.
What you doing? She's trying to talk quietly so they don't hear.
She says, "There's something happening in the south. I can feel it.
Do you have any sense of what it is? Is it a good something or bad something?
It's familiar. Like I've felt it before. And it's
Ooh, I think that's a good something.
pulsing.
That's interesting.
There's an energy further south.
Well then, let's go, shall we?
Go south?
Perhaps.
You think we can?
I think we can.
I would like that.
Okay. Let me talk to Dyer and River Mist, and you and I, little lady, will be off.
And by the time you're done, she's kind of back to kind of staring out the window, and she says, okay. You can see she's just very distracted.
It's
Not
cute.
not her usual
Yeah.
chipper self.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. And you go back.
Yeah, and then I'm going to go back and be normal.
And they're at this point they're all standing, and Aaron kind of put a hand on Dyer's shoulder and nods at River Mist, and she kind of nods back at him. They say some parting words.
Winnie's going to like nod deferentially to Lord Aaron and then say to Dyer and River Mist, friends, I have a feeling I'm needed in the South. And she kind of raises her eyebrows. Like,
River Mist says, we're all needed in the South.
what would you think about me riding ahead?
Riding ahead.
Like, I feel like I need to go quickly.
You are a bringer of shade. We don't.
Can you handle
Who
the...
are we to tell you where to go and what to do?
You're my friends. I'm not just going to ride off and leave you in the dust.
We don't want you to put yourself in any danger.
No, I know. I just have this feeling. I don't know.
Are you hooked on it?
Hooked on a feeling. I'm high believing that you're in love with the Winnie.
Dyer kind of... that was great.
Bravo.
Dyer sees the kind of expression on your face and the determination in your eye, and he kneels down, reaches into a little pouch, and pulls out a tiny can. Like a little like...
Tiny can?
A little like... Almost like a sardine can kind of thing.
Okay.
Little... cracks it open, and inside is that kind of blue mud paint.
That's what I wanted to be.
And he dips a couple fingers into it, and then he puts a couple marks on your forehead and cheeks. And
Does it smell weird?
no,
Okay.
no, it smells,
smells like dirt.
Smells fine.
It smells like blue.
Earthy. It's got an earthy tone to it, but not strong.
Smells like blue.
And
He's
then
having a stroke.
And then he kind of like wipes his hand off and closes the can, and he puts one hand on your shoulder, and he looks you in the eye and he says, "True." And then he steps up.
Can I like reach out my hands
Yeah.
to do the arm shaking
Yeah,
thing?
he does the cool arm shake thing with
and I
you.
go, true.
And he smiles. And you can see kind of River Mist just kind of beaming that they all, and even Aaron, all three of them kind of almost seem like they're inspired by you a little bit.
Aw.
That
I'm so cool all of a sudden.
You're a bringer of shade.
I'm a burger of shade.
So
I'm a brewer of shade.
Aaron kind of speaks up and says, "Is there anything that we can give you for your journey?"
Do you have anything I could ride that moves faster than, say, 25 feet per turn?
In the standard unit of measurement in the world of Altera,
Just kidding.
a turn is about this much.
No, it's in all seriousness, she goes, do you have maybe a horse?
We do have horses, and
I
would
could
be,
send it back with your weapons bearer dudes.
Maybe a pony?
No. If
Are you big? Can you ride a full horse?
We're gonna see.
if you are truly one of these bringers of shade, then I want to help as much as I can. You'll have my personal steed.
What? Oh, you shouldn't trust me with that.
He's a good horse, and you can trust him.
Okay.
So, or her. I'm gonna make it a girl. Yeah.
So like if I finish and then I give her a little woo, she'll come back.
All you need to do to get her to respond is this whistle, and he kind of gives a little like, I can't do the. Yeah. Just. And that's.
You did
It was real bad.
He does it better than that. It's fine.
Yeah.
There's no big deal.
He
But
does
that
it
little whistle,
perfectly.
and the horse will
You could add it as like a sound later.
respond to.
Plot twist, Winnie can't whistle. No, I'm just kidding. She's like,
And the horse is walking away like, no.
just kidding.
Yeah. So just a nice whistle, and the horse will obey. It's very well trained.
Cool.
Royal horse, meant to deal with the sands. So
What's the horse's name?
Devonshire.
No. She's been through the desert on a horse with no name.
Oh, she hasn't yet, but
Yeah, but
going through the desert on a
named
horse
it,
with
I
no
named
name.
it Eric.
It's
'cause of Ricky.
Devonshire.
It's too late. Devonshire.
I missed an opportunity, though. I could have done the weird Gandalf whistle for...
oh yes,
Oh, yeah.
when he calls Shadowfax.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. That's a
Oh
cool whistle.
yeah.
and it sounds like he's having trouble.
Why didn't you let Ricky make his joke?
What joke?
What joke?
He asked what the horse's name was.
No, I was just I knew that you would appreciate that question.
That wasn't a joke.
Yeah, I know.
That wasn't
It
a joke.
sounded
You were gonna
like
say
a
that
joke.
No,
the horse's
I saw
name
it in
was
his
Winnie.
eyes.
No.
I saw it in his eyes, and
Oh,
it was
is
a
it Winnie?
challenge.
yeah, it was a challenge. Yeah.
That was definitely a
Yeah.
visual exchange
I
there
just
where
knew
you were
that
like,
you would appreciate
I
the
did
challenge.
appreciate
Yeah.
it.
So Winnie's gonna travel south by herself.
I mean, south
And,
east-ish.
yeah.
She's not by
got
herself. She
Penny.
got Penny.
she got Penny. Yeah.
I have
And
my
Penny will guide her.
And she has what's the name of your little contraption toy?
Walter.
Mark 5.
Yep, or something. 7. I don't
And
remember.
we're gonna jump to Joan. Joan,
Me.
you're in combat with this, and
Yeah, I'm in combat.
can we say that you guys have kind of exchanged a couple blows back and forth, but
That we
nothing.
haven't seen yet.
Nothing too. I just want to jump into the combat a little bit.
yeah,
like
Just kind of feeling each other out.
Did they
Yeah,
roll
yeah.
initiative?
Yeah, I rolled a 17.
Oh, nice. I missed that. Sorry.
she rolled less than that. So you guys have kind of gauge each other a little bit. She's got this sword, and for the most part, you can tell she operates with it two-handed. And though she's not incredibly fast, you can tell that a one solid hit from that thing can do a lot of damage.
Yeah, it's big.
Yeah.
I got a big sword.
All offense, no defense.
Yep. What have you done so far in the battle?
I have thrown my mace around.
Okay. You guys both are kind of heavy hitters. Both those weapons are like you.
A mace is not that.
They're easier to dodge, but if you get smacked, it
yeah.
hurts.
Mace is just a 1d6.
Yeah, but it hurts.
A mace in real life though is like
Okay, yeah. So I can change my dice to a 1d20.
no.
D12.
No, I guess it is one-handed, so it's not as heavy. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
Okay.
a two-handed sword is probably like what, a D8 or a D10?
I think it's D8
D8. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's not that.
or
much
D10.
more. Yeah.
Might be D10 or a D12.
My little
It's a great
stabby is a
sword.
1d4.
I know. I
Anyway.
had stabbies before.
So you guys exchange a couple blows. Nothing really has landed yet.
Yeah.
It's your move.
I'm gonna try and hit her with my mace again.
Okay. And let's just remember, Joan's glowing.
Oh, that's right. I don't know why, but I'm imagining like old school Star Trek battle music.
Nope, I am totally Amazons from Wonder Woman right now.
Oh, yeah.
All like slow-mo and awesome.
It's a 7.
That's a miss.
You touched this
Oh,
dice.
no. Oh, I did. Eric tainted it. Oh, no.
Blow on it. Go.
Oh. Kelsey, spit it out. Spit it out right now. Spit it out.
What did it land on when you spit it out?
A 7.
The die is now slobbery.
Okay, please stop.
20!
Okay.
Okay, we're back to normal.
It was on the table wet, and you put it back in your mouth. This is a dirty table. I'm like,
Ricky,
Okay.
I don't care.
Don't talk about my table that way, Ricky.
Let's keep going. Let's keep
picked
going.
up some particles.
I don't
All right.
care.
Okay.
Then she's gonna try and
care
hit you with her
for you.
sword. That is a 14.
Miss.
Okay, so both of you exchange another back and forth with each of you being able to kind of dodge and she seems to be getting very frustrated
Yeah, I'm 2.
with this whole combat.
Kind of confusticated.
Your turn again.
I'm going to try and...
Not those.
I broke the curse.
Yeah.
She did break through.
Okay,
so land on
Ricky,
a
pick
20.
another one then.
It's gonna be your responsibility now,
Oh,
Ricky.
come on. Because Dalfin rolls so
one?
much better than I do.
10.
It's better. Yeah, exactly. So marginally
better than mine.
marginally
Wow.
better.
13.
This is going real well.
So,
Slowest fight
I'm
ever.
glad you guys all waited a week for this combat because it's riveting.
so she's starting to really sense that you guys are evenly matched, and she can feel her forces getting frustrated with her.
Yeah.
That she hasn't taken you down yet.
Because I know what she's capable
Yes.
of. Yeah.
And so
Scary.
after she kind of swings and you're able to like kind of sidestep her blade,
Yet again.
she gets kind of a grin on her face and follows the swing through, kind of spinning, and then turns back toward her horse and uses the last bit of her movement speed to get on top of it.
And I go, cheater!
There's no cheating in war. And then she gives a loud whistle, and you can hear some of the warriors start to hoop and holler as they all start to like kind of churn again, and she kind of points towards you, and you feel like people are aiming arrows and getting ready to throw spears, and a lot of the forces are getting ready to kind of charge in on you.
I say, we said 1v1.
Smack him, smack him, smack him.
She's not talking anymore. You're having a whole army now that's getting ready to come down upon you.
Okay, fine. I'm going to tune into Artemis. I'm going to tell Artemis, do what you have to do.
And as these forces are starting to come in and you sense all this danger coming at you, you get a very strong sense from Artemis that he's got your back.
Okay.
Joan, your body begins to glow even brighter, and you start to float again in the air. And it kind of makes you a sitting target for arrows and spears
Yeah,
that
I
are getting
don't
ready
really
to be
like
floating
thrown
target?
at you.
Don't like
And I'm gonna explain how this happens, but it happens almost instantaneously.
Okay.
Just as kind of arrows and spears are being thrown, the ghost face flattens, and the whole form begins to shift as it splits right down the middle, and the head is pulled apart by two arms that seem to emerge from within the golem, and it leans up on its hind legs and stands bipedally.
What?
A humanoid head, made of stone, of course, rises out from the chest and rests upon the now humanoid torso, and two glowing eyes burst to life on the face. Cool. And now this is different because the goat golem actually didn't have any glowing eyes; it just had a stone head.
Oh.
And the stone head, speaking of it, is now resting in two humanoid hands as two kind of small shields.
Go Power Rangers!
And
No,
Literally.
Transformers Beast Wars.
and it leans forward on what, like, does kind of a lunge forward and throws the two shields down, slamming into the earth next to you on either side, and dozens of arrows and spears cling into it.
That's so cool.
And then the stone chest of this stone guardian kind of spreads open like the goat's chest would, and you're able to float back into it.
Into your amazing. Oh, it's so cool.
So now you
I'm
have
speechless.
You have unlocked level 2 of your golem. And
is so
you're
awesome.
You're now standing in this giant glowing stone defender is what I call it.
I had no idea this was a thing.
And what I love is
I didn't either
the
until I
legs
read
are
it
still
today.
goat legs, so it's still got that kind of hind.
Yeah.
The way those
Mr. Tumnus.
Transformers.
kind of still partially goat, but yeah.
Defenders. Stone goats in disguise.
Specifically, I call this form the defender. I don't think they all are defenders.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
Hey.
Oh.
Anyway,
Hey.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Realities.
What do you do now that you're in this form?
So, like, I'm
Just
in it.
absorb the
in
awesomeness
it.
that you are
I
right
didn't
now.
understand
That's
that
so
when I read
cool.
this.
You're fully protected inside it.
How many spirit points did that take?
That took, what does it say? Does it say spirit points for transformation?
No, the transform into the defender.
No, but there is a shield.
The shield charge.
No,
The intercept attack.
intercept attack.
Okay.
What is that? How much does that cost?
1.
Okay, that's all that happened.
Okay. I didn't.
Artemis used it to protect you, and then you entered the form.
Okay.
So it's for allies, but since you were outside of the golem,
Yeah.
He used it on you.
you were
Oh,
treated like an ally.
cool.
So,
That was
in
pretty
order to do
epic.
it, I still have to be in the golem.
You currently are.
I mean, it'd be wise because if you're not, he has to continue protecting you.
Okay. So now I'm fighting as a defender.
You're housed inside it,
Okay.
and have full control.
Well, she's cheating. I'm going to cheat. So
Well, it's not cheating if she's cheating.
there's no cheating in war. So
That's right.
So
apparently not.
All's fair in love and war.
what do you do?
I am going to multi-attack her.
The woman, the leader.
Yeah.
Awesome.
He's a smoocher.
Okay, what do you do?
Well, a multi-attack as a defender is 2 slams.
Yep.
Oh my
And
goodness! This
I'm
poor
assuming
lady.
she's huge or smaller.
I mean,
Yes, she's
so
she's a
she
medium
will
creature.
also need to do a strength saving throw.
Okay.
Do you want me to attack first, or do you want to?
Yeah, your attacks need to hit for her to do the saving throw.
This is gonna be so fast.
That is
A
a
good roll.
28
Yeah, that's a hit.
yeah.
and a 30.
Holy cannoli!
30.
I rolled a 19, and that's
Mamma
plus
mia.
11.
was that
Mia.
Okay.
non-lethal
Pizza
damage?
I was gonna
Yeah.
ask,
Yeah.
do you want to do non-lethal?
Yeah, I want non-lethal.
Okay. So
I just want to make her shake in her boots.
okay, I'm just gonna explain this because you go and roll the damage, I guess.
You're gonna push her into her boots.
She's going to be one with her boots.
Yeah.
11 for the first one.
That's a lot.
15 for the second.
and
Nice.
what's the saving throw she needs to
She
roll?
needs to hit a DC 20 strength.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh!
Well, she rolled an 8. So.
That's intense. She rolled an 8.
Oh no.
Okay.
She's not feeling too strong
So,
right now.
you-
Well, that was quick.
You you take one of your shields, and it's kind of they're kind of like I'm trying to explain them like teardrop almost in shape, where they kind of come to maybe not a sharp point, but more of a thinner point at the end.
Yeah.
Kind of like Captain America's ones in the last movie.
It's exactly where I got
Okay.
my inspiration for it. And with one of them, you kind of almost like thrust it at her and lift her into the air off of her
Yeah.
off of her horse, and with the other one, you slam her back down on the ground.
Oh my gosh, that's brutal.
And she's just sitting there and going,
Like
Wait,
like
she-
Loki.
after
Yeah.
Hulk was
Yeah.
bashing him around.
So she was on her horse though. Did the horse get punched too?
No, that's why I said specifically she like kind of thrust
Wow.
it and picked her up off the horse with one,
Uppercut her off the horse. That's
and then
awesome.
and then slammed her back down.
I kind of wanted you to punch the horse too.
She rolled a 30.
Yeah, that's
she gets
pretty.
to
You can
be
hit whatever
precise.
you want. Yeah,
I'm very
That's
precise.
awesome.
So at that point, all the horses have stopped and everyone is silent, and you have the floor.
I go, stir, Erden, true.
And you hear her go, and then you start to hear some of the riders repeat it, and then the whole place starts just repeating it, just stirred and true, stirred and true, and the horses are kind of like jumping and all the noises, and yeah. You have for all intents and purposes are the leader of the Sturden.
Yeah, I don't want to be.
And with that, we're gonna jump.
Dude,
Scrape her
was
off the
so
ground.
cool.
Yeah. Squeegee
With a
her.
spatula.
Please.
Yeah, and now we all know that the golems can
Oh
transform.
my gosh! Uppercut and then smacked her into the ground. You spiked her. Oh my goodness! Set and spike.
That was fun.
And now we're gonna jump to Relnor. And you just gave your speech.
Yeah.
And
My
you
awesome
hear
speech.
and
very
it's
good.
been several moments of silence, and then you hear one of the
Rule of
Yallers
14, right? Yeah.
one of the Yallers stands up and says, "We heard of this stone goat that you speak of. We've seen it in the north. It travels around with a small little halfling on its back."
Relnor's like,
Yep, that's exactly. That is 100% accurate. Got a little hammock and everything.
It's funny because you think they're talking about Dalfin, but it's
If
probably Topher.
Yeah.
if this
Yep. You didn't get that?
I did not. I was wanting that.
definitely
I
Miss
asked
Your
for that,
Bag.
I was
last
expecting you to be
episode.
like, okay.
Yeah.
if you are the Shadowbringers, then I would believe that thing to be a form of power. Then You hear a familiar voice speak out from the other side.
Stinking Esther.
And it's Esther, and she goes, "These two came to my village, portending all types of foul harm to our people, saying that the orcs would come and kill us all. They are nothing but fear-mongers. They do not bring truth. They're liars all." And then you hear Obed
Yeah.
speak up, and he says, "Bah! To you, they're all liars, anyone further south. If anyone's not from your village, they're liars. Esther, you've no room to speak at this hall."
Ooh, snap.
And you start to hear some of there starts to be more and more people yelling out.
In a
And
shouting match.
yeah. Did you do anything?
Spiraling.
Do you remember? Did I see Dalfin? I saw Dalfin leave,
did.
Yep,
right?
Yep.
Gosh, I don't know. Relnor's conflicted. Part of me would very much. Relnor would know that if Dalfin just up and left, that's odd.
Yeah.
Especially for a big shindig like this. So if it's deteriorating, Relnor would probably want to go try to find Dalfin.
So you're kind of making your way off the stage?
What? Say something.
No, it's your decision.
It's your decision, man.
It's
We
your choice,
can't-
dude.
Josh will make whatever work.
Yeah.
That's his job.
I mean, but there still should be consequences for our decisions.
There always are.
Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't say what he would make work.
I'm going to say, please, Dalfin is misguided and he means the best, but trust me, he will be reprimanded.
It didn't work in this one realm, but
But please don't doom your fate because of one Melweening.
wow.
Mel-weaning person.
Who you calling a Mel Wiener? What were you trying to say?
Well-meaning. He did a spoonerism and flipped it. That was fantastic.
I've never been called such a
Please.
horrible thing in all my life.
Please don't doom your future.
Wow.
It's okay. It's okay.
Dude.
Oh, it's
Eric,
a
ready?
rough day.
Ready? Go. Yeah, good job. You got it.
Please don't
got
doom
this.
your future because of the misaction of one well-meaning individual.
Those were all good words. Well done.
Yeah, they were real words.
You got there.
We need to come together.
Right now. Over me.
Even when you're speaking well,
sorry.
he won't let you have
I'm
it.
sorry.
He
I'm
won't
sorry.
let you have it.
I know.
I'm sorry. So sorry. The lyrics are just coming to me today.
Yeah.
Abram steps up next to you. He puts a hand on your arm, getting the sense that you're moving towards leaving the stage. And he just says under his breath, he says, "If we don't convince them now, there's no chance we'll get the Jorro to come together ever for this." He says,
Okay.
"Please, brothers, sisters, this is not a chance for us to argue. We need to come to a decision. All of us know that the Fellhammer is not an idle threat. All of us," and he looks at Esther, says, "know that the orcs can find our homes. If they cross the world bridge in force, it won't matter how far north you live. It will be on all of us. I think we can agree," and he looks around, "that the Jorro Erden will support any of the Erden True that come to the world bridge to face the Fellhammer's forces." And he kind of looks around, kind of eyeing everyone. And you can see most of them nodding. Like, yeah, of course, we'll support them, like with food and resources. He says, "But what we lack as a people are warriors." And he points over at Relnor. He says, "This is the very big captain. Relnor,
Gosh.
Windhelm from the north."
Eric flexes.
All of you know the stories of forces that have crossed the river to face the four kingdoms. All of you know that no force has successfully overwhelmed them in all of their history. 500 years. He is one of their warriors. And a big one.
And a big one.
Hear what he has to say. Tell us, Erden from the north, what can we do to prepare?
We need as many men and women that can fight as possible. Anyone shepherds that are good with slings, woodcutters that are good with axes, anyone can be used. We need other people that can't fight to run medical aid and carry orders. We really need just as many Erden as we can together to stand together.
Abram looks at you and nods his head, almost kind of like relieved at the words you said. Like, that's exactly what these people needed to hear. And he says, me and my village will stand with the Erden of the North. The one has been made many, and it is time for many to be made one. It is up to each of you to choose if you will stand with this Erden of the North and face Orang from the south, or return home, lock your doors, and close your eyes.
Ooh.
And it's kind of quiet for a little while.
Yeah.
Bah! Rubbish! And Esther stands up and starts heading towards the door and leaves. And you hear kind of a rustling, and several other of the Yallers stand up and start to move out towards the doors. And all in all, after about just about a minute or so, about a quarter of the Yaller that were there have left. But that leaves...
3/4.
Yeah, probably around
75 cents.
That leaves probably around 300 to 350 Yallers
Holy cow.
still in the council.
That's not bad,
A
guys.
ton of Yallers.
Dude,
I didn't realize there was that many.
me either.
There were hundreds. Yeah,
That's why
yeah.
you went, remember?
Yeah, but he just said hundreds. He didn't say 500.
Yeah. One of them steps forward, an older one that you understood from your time that you'd spent there. This is more of one of the moderate. He's not super like pro fighting, not super pro leaving the fight.
Okay.
He says, "What is the next step, Captain Relnor? What do we do with our people? How do we prepare?"
We need to organize and gather supplies. We need to find as many weapons as we can. We need to find food and make sure we have rations, medical supplies. We need to split up into different companies so that we can command different forces to defend different flanks.
You feel a big hand on your shoulder behind you,
Okay.
and it's Obed.
Okay.
He looks towards the door, one of the doors, and you see a small gathering of some younger Erden, but you would know them to be the Stree, the border watchers, and they're looking at Obed, and he says, "Relnor, you'll have command of the Jorro Erden Stree as your personal force.
That's awesome.
We'll work to convey your messages and your directions to the rest of the Erden. They will need training and organizing, and we can help." And he kind of puts a hand to his chest and says, "We are yours." And he nods his head.
What's the phrase that they said? Was it Erden True? Mm-hmm. That means everybody.
Yep, united.
So
yeah.
I'll put a hand on my chest and say Erden True.
He nods in respect, says, "Erden True." And you hear a couple of the other Yallers say it in return, and then the whole place starts kind of chanting, "Erden True, Erden True."
True.
Yeah.
True. True.
Nice. And we're going to cut away to Dalfin, who is...
birdie.
It's gotten late in the evening now.
Birdie.
The sun has completely set.
birdie too.
I love that you guys have seen that movie.
The desert has kind of a blue tinge to it at this point, and Dalfin is surrounded by the wasteland of the world bridge.
But I'm kind of oblivious to it, right?
Kind of, yeah. This shimmering, see-through green hawk has kind of been guiding you this entire time. And then it kind of stops all of a sudden and kind of perches itself down on the ground and turns to look at you.
Hello, bird. I think we met the other night when you were on the building.
You step up to it.
I kind of I kind of inch my way, like I do a step slide.
A step slide?
Yeah, like kind of like slowly kind of.
Oh, I gotcha.
Like kind of scooting.
Yeah, kind of like a zombie, but intentional.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
kind of like but like with like only like I'm kind of also like sideways, kind of like I'm trying to get. It's like how you would get close to something like a fire, maybe. You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to be careful.
Yeah.
So probably how I would approach like an actual wild animal.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Once you get kind of right up on it, it's just staring at you. And you can tell at this point it's definitely a hawk, like a big hawk.
I like wave my hand in front of its face.
It disappears.
Oh!
And any kind of like mental pressure you felt is gone.
Ah! Oh, no. I'm in the desert.
But then you start to feel the ground beneath you shaking. And there's this kind of little tiny hill, not an actual hill, but kind of stone hill. And you see parts of it start to shake and rubble start to move. And then a light kind of seeps through a thin sliver. And an opening starts to like kind of present itself in the kind of dirt of the world bridge. Ooh. And there's a platform that's glowing.
Similar to the Gnome Island.
Mm-hmm. And it has the same symbol for choice on the base of it.
I kind of look around. I'm like, all right. Okay. I jump on.
Okay. And it immediately starts descending down into the earth. And
Fast or slow?
Not so fast that it's like...
It's not the Tower of Terror.
No. Yeah. And you hear the stones above you close and shut back. And now the only light is the glowing of the different runes as you descend deeper into the sacred stone.
All right, pop a squat on the platform.
Okay. It doesn't take long till eventually you reach... It stops, and you're in what looks like kind of... there's corridors with different rooms and things. And you're kind of in a bit of like an entryway.
Hello.
And the whole place is kind of like...
The man does his own echoes.
It's lit up, but there's no... it's just kind of like... Imagine 20 feet radius of you. All the glyphs on the walls and floor are glowing, but beyond that, they're not. But as you kind of step forward...
It moves with me.
It moves with you.
Ooh.
Oh. Mm-hmm. Hope there's no stalactites down here.
And roll me a perception check.
I think it's +2.
This is definitely going to finish us out.
Non-natural 20.
Non-natural 20?
Yes.
There were a lot of those today.
As you kind of take one step off of the platform, you just catch like the shape of a humanoid figure stepping through one of the passageways.
Oh, I run to it.
Okay. You run to it and you kind of move. It looks like it turned into a room. And when you look into the room, it's almost like a workshop of sorts.
Huh.
Like it's all ancient runes, and with glyphs all over them and stuff. But you actually see a figure, thin figure sitting that's transparent, sitting at a desk, working with some what look like kind of you'd probably see them as like kind of like pipes maybe, and some different gadgets and things. At this kind of desk.
Doesn't mean much to me. Hello?
And it disappears.
Yeah.
And then out of the corner of your eye, you see movement further down.
Huh? What is going on here? People disappearing. All right, go to the next movement, I guess.
And you see into what looks like kind of a pretty plain room with some walls but it's got a kind of platform at the center of it, and all of a sudden a scene kind of glows to life in front of you, and you see the same figure in that duster. It's got kind of a hood as well, sitting down on seats that have risen out from the ground, and it turns and a opening kind of opens from one of the walls, and it pulls out what looks like a piece of bread or something and sets it on the table and starts cutting at it with a knife. And then the little drawer closes, and then the scene disappears again.
Huh.
And then you catch a glimpse of movement further down.
I knock on the wall where it opened up for the bread.
You hear nothing.
Dang it.
Are you hungry?
I'm hungry. I'm very hungry.
I would eat ghost bread.
I've been walking in the desert for who knows how long, chasing this dumb bird. Okay. I look around. I was gonna kick the wall a little bit. Nothing?
Nothing.
No, okay. Okay, I run to the next movement.
It opens up into a hallway
Okay.
that has no doors on it.
Okay.
And you see a soft green light coming from a door at the very end of the hallway.
Hello?
Don't hear anything in return.
Okay, I walk to the green light.
Okay, so you walk out, and the door opens up into a large hall.
Whoa.
And at the end of the hall, this big open room, is a stone statue of a massive hawk.
Whoa.
And then right to your side is
Which side? Left or right?
like walking out from behind your right.
Okay.
The same figure, kind of transparent green, passes you and walks over and makes a motion with his hand, and a platform rises up from the ground. A transparent version.
Yeah.
Rises up from the ground, and he kind of fingers it with a couple button presses. Then you see him take a deep breath, and he places his whole hand on it, and then a hand on his chest, and you see energy go from his chest into the base of the statue, and his whole body kind of like jerks at it, and then you see his body go limp, and as it falls to the ground, it disappears. And then a glyph brings to life in some green glowing light at the base of the hawk statue.
Okay.
And it's the same kind of setup that you saw with the goat.
On the Gnome Island.
Like where Terry had his hand is where the glyph is.
Don't want to end up like Terry. Actually, I should count myself lucky to be like Terry. So I kind of follow the path of the memory man, and I do the same motion with my hand.
Nothing happens.
Dang it.
Roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh no! Oh no! That's a 6. Can I use my last luck point?
Sure you want to use your last luck point right here?
Dalfin would.
Okay.
That is going to be a 12.
Okay.
Hey, you doubled it.
I did.
You feel strongly compelled to place a hand on the glyph.
All right, I'm going to touch it with my finger.
So you kind of do that, kind of like staying as far away from it as possible.
Yeah, like a
just,
stovetop.
and just reaching. And
Is it hot?
Yeah.
the moment part of your flesh touches the glyph, you're transported. And all of a sudden, you're in the plains of the south.
Back in the plains?
And it's nighttime. And
Are there buildings?
And you're in a Jorro village,
Okay.
a small village, and you're hearing sounds of distress coming from a hut you see that's on fire.
I run to it.
Okay. Inside is a family of Jorro, and there's an orc that's kind of approaching them to attack.
Okay.
And you actually recognize this whole scene.
What do you mean I recognize the whole scene?
You encountered a moment like this during your travels north.
Oh, okay.
But you weren't a very strong fighter.
Yeah.
Now you are.
I'm going to jump and kick the orc in the back of the head.
Okay. Roll for it.
15.
15 is a hit.
All right. That is going to be 4 damage.
Okay.
I'm going to do I'm also going to use a key point to do a flurry of blows.
Yeah.
Which is 2 unarmed attack strikes. 8 for one of them.
It's a miss.
21
Dang, that's a
for the
hit.
other one. That's going to be another 4 damage.
Okay.
And I'm also going to, for one of those,
21. Thank you. I wasn't going to do it.
he's going to have to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
gonna have to meet 12.
Does not meet 12.
So he's knocked prone.
Okay, so you knock him prone, then what do you do?
I'm standing over him. I'm gonna say, "Are you okay?"
To the orc?
No, to the people that he was terrorizing.
They're scared to death.
Get out of the tent, quick!
Okay, so you're able
Or
to
the house.
kind of...
Get out of the house, quick!
Yeah. So
Get out! There's a fire.
You see, it's a brother and sister,
Okay.
kind of younger kids, and they both rush out of the house. Then you start to feel your vision kind of blur, and
Feel like Relnor.
and in a flicker, just flicker, your vision kind of flickers, and then you're back in the hall,
What is going on here?
and you're at the entrance, and you see yourself in front of you with your finger on the thing, and your whole body is aglow with glyphs, and then flicker.
Oh, God.
And you're
Good thing I'm not epileptic.
back in Lestrade. It's
Whoa.
daytime, and
I'm kind of looking around. I'm kind of like freaking out a little bit here.
and you're wearing your traveling clothes from when you first came to Lestrade.
Okay, that's weird.
And then you hear a very similar voice that you've
Yeah.
heard before. It's an old voice
Oh,
of Theodoric
Yay.
sitting on his stone that you come to sit down quite a bit, watching the people as they walk throughout the city.
Theodoric!
He kind of turns and looks at you and says, "Ooh, that's my name.
It's Dalfin!
I suppose you are.
You're alive!
Well, last time I checked," and he pinches himself.
I pinch him too. I give him a big hug.
Whoa, all right there, little one.
What's going on?
Ooh, I'm not sure what you're talking about.
I don't have my gi. You were dead. What's going on?
I'm clearly not dead, but I am looking for a student.
Okay, yeah, I'm your student.
Would you like to learn the ways of being a monk?
I did. I have.
Says, hold on, and he reaches out a finger, and this is, you remember this?
Yeah,
from
yeah.
when you first came to Lestrade. You actually had this a very similar interaction.
I know, it's kind of freaking me out. I'm kind of freaking out
He
right
puts
now.
a finger on your forehead and he says, a little naive, a little unpracticed, quick to act. Well, I say you'd make a perfect monk.
I kind of do.
And then your vision kind of slowly fades. It's not fast, but you see moments of
Theodoric.
You see moments of your training with Theodoric, and you're kind of seeing yourself a little bit.
Yeah.
Learning how to be a monk. You also see your humor and the way that the two of you would prank other monks and goof around, and kind of became kind of your own kind of little group aside from
it's kind of making me happy sad.
And then flicker,
God,
and you
don't like that.
You're back in the hall.
Looking at myself? Mm-hmm. Can I look at my hands?
Yeah.
Like, not the ones that I'm touching the scope, but like mine.
Yep. They're transparent green, kind of glowy.
I try and clap.
Okay, you can clap. You clap.
So I feel sturdy to me.
Yeah.
I don't feel ghosty.
No.
Okay.
But then you see.
Flicker.
You see.
Stop doing that.
You see the figure, who looks not transparent, looks solid, leaning up against the wall next to your real form. He's got his duster on with his hood.
You're the memory.
Do you move towards him?
I shouted him first.
Okay, no response.
Yeah, I walk
He
up
just
to
kind
him.
of turns his head,
Yeah.
kind of like a bird. Kind of just like tilts his head.
I go, hello.
You walk up to him.
Yeah.
Okay, as you step forward, you hear him say very distinctly, "You cannot fly."
I know.
And then flicker.
God, no. I don't like that.
And you're now kind of floating above Lestrade, and you see Brother Theodoric sitting on his stone. And the moment where you would show up passes, and then a small boy is walking by and kind of pauses and looks up at Theodoric, and you can tell it's kind of a poor kid who doesn't have a lot. And Theodoric looks at him and smiles, puts a finger to the kid's head, and then
Am I the kid?
no,
Oh.
it's a different kid, someone you've never seen before.
Okay.
And the kid gets a grin on his face. Brother Theodoric gets a grin on his face, says a couple things, and then he gestures for the kid to follow him back. Then you kind of slowly go through a similar kind of montage,
But with not me.
but with not you. You see this kid learning to be a monk, becoming a very well acclaimed monk, and getting respect from a lot of the other monks. And you see Brother Theodoric being brought into the confidence of the other elders who respect him because they respect his pupil. And you see this kind of different version playing itself out. And then you're back in the hall one more time. And you're a little closer to your real body, and the dude is still kind of leaning up against the wall.
What is going on?
He just shakes his head.
What are you doing to me?
You step closer again?
Yeah.
Okay, and he says, "You cannot fly." And then your vision is taken over, and you're just witnessing now. But you're in the desert again, and you're in a very kind of poorly put together hut, and you see two younger children sitting in the corner of it, but they're orcs this time.
Mm-hmm.
Then you see an older orc kind of push aside kind of the flap of the tent and walk in and throw down a kind of a necklace that the orc you fought before was wearing,
Mm-hmm.
and throws it down on the ground in front of the two orc children. And the older one kind of reaches over and picks it up and looks at it, and looks up at the older orc that just dropped it in, and he kind of grunts at her. She gets a scowl on her face, like clenches the necklace really tight in her fists, stands up, and walks out of the tent with him. And then you're back in the room, in the hall.
God. Okay. Stop doing that. Who was that kid?
Shakes his head. You cannot fly.
I know I can't fly. Why does that matter?
You have to understand the consequences of your choices.
Okay. I try and help people.
And
And then I try and help people.
what happens?
And then either I help them or I can't.
You saved the lives of those youth in that hut. Those Jorro Erden.
Yeah.
And two orcs went without a father.
Yeah, but I didn't. Well, but that. He was attacking the people. I didn't tell him to do that.
You found Brother Theodoric,
Kind of. He kind of found me.
and the two of you became friends,
Yeah.
and he trained you, turned you into the monk you are, and the two of you became ostracized from the rest of the monks.
Yeah. That's kind of fun.
That boy over there went on to become a beggar, and knew nothing more than the life of a beggar.
Who are you? How do you even know this about me?
And he kind of like shakes his head again. He pulls the hood back. You see a very thin face with kind of a pointy nose, and some slicked back hair, and some very sharp eyes. And he says, "I'm sorry, you cannot fly." And he kind of steps out from where he was leaning and starts to walk away from you.
Well, wait a minute. Come back here. I don't want to fly.
You're gonna have to fly.
What does that mean?
Oh, you're stuck?
Stuck where? Stuck here? Stuck in a statue? Whoa. What is going on?
He looks at you, and you can see kind of like a disappointment in his face. And then he says, "All right, fine." And flicker, flicker, flicker.
God,
and
dang it. Great gods. I hate that so much.
and the two of you are standing on top of a cliff.
Oh.
What happens if you left off this cliff?
I would fall,
Aye,
and then I would hit the ground eventually.
you die.
Maybe.
But what
Why
if
would I jump?
you jump all the time?
This is a good point.
That's your entire life. You jump everywhere. You do as you feel. And you don't think about the consequences.
Well, no, because I do what's right. I do what seems right in the moment.
And what if what's right leads to something wrong?
That I can't control that.
But do you know it?
How can I know it?
By looking. By being aware of the world around you. By learning from your experiences.
I think I do that, maybe?
Do you? Do you ask anyone who can throw something to throw it at you?
Sometimes. I like to challenge myself and other people.
Sure.
It's kind of fun.
Brother Theodoric could have had a completely different life as a teacher. He could have known what it was like to be respected by his peers.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. He was happy.
He was. I won't take that away. I can't. No one can. Because what's done is done.
He saw something in me and he chose to pursue it.
He did. But he could have seen something in someone else.
I can't do anything about that.
Nope.
What do you want from me?
Art would have been better at this.
Art?
He grabs you by the collar and you both leap off of the cliff.
Oh my gosh, why would you do that? We're gonna die!
and then his duster spreads open and becomes a pair of wings. And, and the two of you start soaring over the countryside.
You're flying!
Yes, I'm flying.
Oh my gosh! You could have told me you could do that!
Well, I thought it'd be better to show you.
Oh my goodness!
You are reckless.
I'm reckless!
I leapt because I knew I could fly. I didn't take a risk.
Okay, I take risks sometimes. But I do it because I think I gotta.
You think you're always capable. You think you always have to act. You don't even stop and think if there's a better approach. How many fights have you led your friends into because you jumped instead of waiting?
They've been fine. Okay. Maybe.
Dalfin, I want to give you power. But I cannot trust you with that power. Not yet.
Wait a minute. Are we still flying?
Yeah.
Oh gosh. When you said art, did you mean Artemis?
I?
You know Artemis.
Of course I do.
Okay, I think I've been looking for you.
Of course you have. I've been calling to you.
You're the bird. You're the Birdman. You're a Birdman.
Michael Keaton?
I am Archimedes.
Archimedes. That's nice to meet you. Can we get back to ground?
And flicker, flicker, flicker.
Oh, dang!
You're back in the hall.
Man.
Says, a war is starting above.
Yeah, I'm trying to get prepared for it.
But you're stuck. Because you won't accept that your logic is flawed.
What do you mean?
Not every action is always just a right action. And not every choice is good or bad. Sometimes all the choices are bad.
I don't believe that. Maybe, but there's purpose. There's not just action, there's intent.
The world needs you right now. But it needs you to think. To be aware.
Not my strong suit.
Aye.
Okay.
Why did I bond with this one?
Aww.
Listen, Archie.
Archie.
You're one of the forms of power from the prophecy. We need your help. A lot of people are gonna die if we don't bond.
We're already bound.
Okay.
Apparently my trial is poor. And you're unteachable.
I don't mean... Okay, I'm sorry.
We're gonna be stuck here for all eternity.
I don't...
While you continue trying to figure out what it is.
I don't want that. I think the real me is very hungry. Okay. Listen up, Arch. If okay. I'm not a great thinker-througher of things, okay? I act before I think. I know my actions have consequences. I just kind of... I try not to think about them all the time. Because I don't like taking responsibility for bad things that happen because I'm trying to do something good.
But you can't ignore the bad things that happen.
Okay. You're right. I'm afraid that all this thinking's gonna hurt my reaction time. Sometimes I feel like things need to happen.
And sometimes they do. I just don't think that you can wield the power that I give so flippantly.
That's fair. Well, you're gonna be in my head. So maybe you can help me. I promise that I'll listen to you.
He crosses his arms.
I'm going to get that last part snipped out and sent to Jacqueline.
Oh, he listens, right?
I listen pretty good. Sometimes.
We'll ask her at dinner.
Yep.
He crosses his arms and says, "All right."
If you're willing to give me a chance, I'm not gonna get it right away. Maybe you can help me. But right now, you need to make a decision.
I wasn't programmed for making decisions.
Turned it on.
I'm programmed to react.
Yes, but you're not just a program, are you? You were a person once.
We all were.
I know. And right now, I'm talking to the person, not the program. I need you to do the right thing, so that I can also do the right thing, and maybe you can help me make my right things righter.
I can't believe that actually made sense. Give me a week.
A week?
To train you.
Oh, okay. And then, after a week, I'll fly. I promise.
All right. He reaches out a hand.
I high-five him.
And when you high-five him, you are back in your own body, and you can see the lights glowing on your arm and everything as your hand kind of in the same high-five position is up against the thing, and the golem, the statue before you, starts to glow with light, and different runes show up on it as it then kind of like steps out from kind of shifts its wings a little bit, and then steps down from the platform, kind of you backing up a little bit.
Yeah.
And it like it's really like loud, like, and then
You may want to put a sound effect in there.
I don't know. I like
and the lights in the entire area start to light up and glow, and the whole place kind of comes to life.
Whoa.
And you can feel the presence of another being in your mind.
Are you still there?
You get an affirmative.
All right. We can do this. What now?
And you can see the lights in the place start to pulse in a direction.
Yeah?
Towards one of the hallways.
Okay. Is the bird coming too, or are we gonna just leave
staying.
the bird here for now? Okay. Be back, bird. We're gonna follow the pulsing lights.
Uh-huh. And it leads you to a more, for lack of a better term, a training room.
Whoa. All right.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's where we're going to end this week's episode.
Oh,
It was
man.
a little long.
Worth it.
Sorry about that.
No, I'm sorry too. Wow, that was intense.
I felt... I'm sorry for what I did to Dalfin.
No, it's okay. It was intense. I didn't know how to react a lot of times.
I know.
I'm
Okay.
sorry for kind of spinning it on you.
No, you're good. You're good.
That's pretty clever.
So, this is just so interesting to me because we have. I love how it turns out, and I realize I planned some of it, but I didn't plan for it to like end up here when we started. But I love how the two humans in the party are now basically like leaders of different tribes of humans.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, true.
And you and Winnie are in your own kind of personal adventures in
Yeah.
the South.
Hey.
Who knows how all of these things that are happening will come together? But
Tune in next time.
Who
Yeah.
knows, Josh? Who knows?
I have a good idea, better than most. But honestly, even after that experience, I can't predict anything. So
Ask him again after the next writing session.
thank you, everyone, for listening. I hope you enjoyed this episode and everything that's going on. I'm enjoying it myself, personally,
Yes.
as a dungeon master. So I really can never plan what to expect. So if you're enjoying it, please give us a 5-star review on iTunes and let us know what you think. We'd love to hear from you. You can also find us on social media at The Titan Pod on Twitter and Facebook. Love to chat with you. And if you'd like to get more connected with the show and learn more about what we're doing behind the scenes and with all of us, you can find us, or you can help support us at patreon.com/The Titan Pod. There's some awesome rewards there, and you can get some sweet new content from all of us. So, all that said, as always, I'm your host and Dungeon Master Joshua. Going around the table, we have
Joan.
Dalfin.
Winnie.
Relnor.
Thanks, everybody.